Good morning, David. You're up bright and early, I guess, depending upon your time zone. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. A little earlier this morning. Morning, Wanda. Where are you guys located? It's a little rainy this morning. Wind's blowing pretty hard. Hopefully you're not getting too much wind noise. Morning, Marilyn. San Diego, Cindy. Cool. In Texas. That's awesome. David, you're a trucker working your way towards Bison Rancher. That's awesome. Man, work hard and you'll get there. It was a dream of mine and finally got there, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth it. From Indiana. Cool, thanks. In Boise, Idaho. Probably cover a lot of ground. Yeah, Ellen, they are looking shaggy. They are losing their coats. They're looking good. That's one of the things, when I had my first herd, it was a little hard trying to figure out what was going on because they were getting skinny at the same time they were losing their coats, but they were having worming problems. So I was looking stuff up on them losing their coats, and everybody was like, oh, it's fine. But then I didn't realize that they had worm problems too, so there was a couple different things going on. But one of the things you want to look for with these guys is look at their manure and see if it's solid, and then see if their hind end is getting thin or not. And these guys are super thick, so these guys are healthy. Morning, Jennifer from Chicago. Cool. Windy City. Yeah, the pasture is greening up nicely. I wish I could get them off this pasture and get them onto another one, but we got some more fencing to do before we do that. And as you saw in my other videos, they jumped my temporary fencing to separate it off, so that didn't work, at least for now. Maybe we'll change something up later. I've got some ideas that I might implement, go to like a 2 or 3 strand and a little bit taller. So I gotta order some equipment and make some time to do it though. Cindy, is the hair soft? Yes, it is extremely soft. It is softer than wool. They've got like a couple layers. The underside, you see like on Walking Coyote there, everything that's hanging off, that's super soft. It'll lay out in the field, and somebody suggested making pillows and crocheting and stuff with it. That's not my skill set, but I've picked up bags of it before and thought it would keep it. Lost what I kept in my old herd. So whenever I find this stuff, I'll probably keep it, bag it, who knows, make pillows out of it or whatever. Walking coyote doesn't want anybody getting his range cubes. See if I can throw some out to 78 there. She's feeling all alone. See all the dirt on Walking Coyote's face there. See him pushing Red Prairie over. How old is 78? She is a calf. All of these guys are like calves or just turning yearlings. Even Walking Coyote right in front of me. He's a really nice bull. He is, believe it or not, he isn't even a yearling yet. He's still a calf. I think if he gets the right nutrition, he's going to be an amazing animal. He actually comes out of a bloodline from a really well-known bison that won a bunch of trophies, and he's either the nephew of that bloodline or he's a direct generation from that. So he's an amazing animal for being a calf. 78 though, she is, I think, I'll have to look up the papers. I think she's still a calf, I believe. They usually typically birth somewhere between April and June. That's kind of the general time frame. So you kind of get a sense for them turning yearlings around this point. Have they started a wallow yet? They basically have been using that area that my neighbor dammed up on that stream as their wallow. Yeah, my last herd, they would do that. They had certain spots in the pasture that they just tore up, and they like to get muddy. But they've been out in that pond quite a bit and on the banks of the pond. Good morning. I don't know if you can hear these guys through the camera, but it's really funny when they're searching for the range cubes. You can hear them snorting. They do like 3 snorts. It's like snort, 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 and then they find the range cube. The noise that they make when they breathe is really cool. Their trachea is 4 times larger than any land mammal proportionate to their size. Walking coyote wants to get 94 out of the way. So whenever they breathe, it's really really loud. It's really cool to see them in the winter when they're breathing and the steam's coming off their nostrils. That's cool. Good morning from Berlin, Germany. Very cool. I've heard the beer is phenomenal over there. Ernie, yeah, great day to see bison. I think any day is a great day to see bison myself. Hope everybody is having a good morning. I know it's a little early for some, but morning, Steven. This might be a little bit shorter cast, so if you got any questions, shoot away. It's raining right now, and we've been having bursts off and on that are stronger, so if it starts raining pretty heavy here, I might pull the plug on it. So right next to walking coyote is strong wind. They push each other around. It's kind of funny. See her turning her horns into him at some points. Yeah, from Alberta, home of the woods bison. You're right. There are more woods bison up there than plains bison. I don't know that I've ever seen too many woods bison. I don't know if I've ever seen any at all, unless I've seen like crosses. Just pictures of them. They're really cool. When am I thinking of vaccinations, wormers, Kevin? Probably this fall. I plan to have Doc Parsons out here, and we're going to run through the herd, make sure their health is in order. They have all been wormed already this spring, so they should be good for a little while. I might give them a booster this summer through feed, and then just depending upon their health, always looking at them, seeing how they're doing. And then this fall, I think we will run them through. I'm debating on whether or not to do it twice a year. I don't know yet. So if I do, it'll be this fall and then in the spring also. If you've got good facilities that are all set up for it, and nobody can get hurt, and the animals are safe, twice a year is good. But I don't have a whole lot set up yet, and I'm working on that, so still thinking about it. Do I have plans to enlarge the herd anytime soon? Yes, plan on getting more this fall. So typically you see more bison sales in the fall. There's only a handful of them that are in the spring. So I'm kind of gearing everything up to where I'll get more every fall. It just lines out that way because they rut in July and August typically, and then calve in the spring. So the calves are old enough to sell in the fall. Morning, guys. I'm not going to build a handling facility that is permanent. I started on that with my last farm. Had to sell the bison and the handling facility that was concreted in, and that was a super bummer, a big setback. So I'm going to be building portable systems, portable panels. You really can't go out and just buy portable panels from, you know, your nearest tractor supply, because they're not strong enough, not tall enough. So you either have to get bison specific ones that are rare, or you have to have them made. So I'm actually going to be making some myself. That way, if we expand the herd, want to move to some different ground, whatever the case may be, I can move the facility around. Will I be testing the soil? Probably not. I am a big proponent for natural raised animals, and not to say testing the soil wouldn't hurt. I have actually tested the soil for putting in, I'm trying to think of the name, crops for deer, and I already know we have acidic soil, but the biggest thing this land needs is it needs smaller paddocks and more pressure with these animals. The grass needs rest. It needs to be able to fold over and decompose into the ground, and then their manure needs to be spread out. That's kind of the focus right now. You can save on artificial means of, you know, nitrogen and things like that by by just managing it a little bit better. You know, there's things you can do, is like, you know, put in lime. That's an all natural type of thing, but we might do that, who knows. A little long-winded, sorry. Yeah, Cooper Creek Ranch. Yeah, I've actually spoken with him. They've got a massive herd out there, and does a lot of really good stuff. Do I ever plan on starting a meat line? Not in the immediate future. Maybe down the road, but we're talking years down the road, honestly. I've looked into it. A good friend of mine, Peter Cole, has had a meat business for a long time, and I've gotten a lot of pointers from him. I've talked to some other guys about it. It is a lot of work. Not to say it's not rewarding, but it's a lot of work and a lot of individual orders, trying to keep the regulations in place, you know, doing what you're supposed to be doing, holding the meat at certain temperatures. Coyote's all feisty right now. So maybe down the road. I've had a lot of inquiries about it, so it hasn't been my plan, but I don't know. I've had a lot of inquiries, and who knows. Yeah, yours had high acidity and you had to lime it. Yeah, that is something that I will probably do down the road. It's just not a big focus right now. If you can intensive graze, you can actually bring the soil condition up just by doing that. James from Missouri, cool. My bison seem to have much longer hide hair than cross timbers bison. Is that a climate? Just the climate from different farms? And is yours still got winter coats? Yes, it is a climate thing, and is also a farm related issue. So if you see walking coyote right in front of us, and then you have strong wind on the right, I believe that's strong wind. No, that might be red prairie on the right, and then strong wind behind him. They're all losing their coats very similar. If you look at 78 over on the right, before she gets covered up there, she's hardly losing her coat. And it is some of the genetics that they have and some of the region that they came from. It's kind of some adaptations that they've grown up and adapted to that environment. So that's one of the reasons why you see Dusty, his herd over at Cross Timbers Bison, his herd looks a little bit different. Ask me if they will all adapt down the road. I don't know. I was actually thinking about that this week. I'll have to look into that. What are the ages of the bison? They are all calves. They're all calves and just turning yearlings, either this month or next. Stopped throwing range cubes out to them, and they're ready to give up on me. They're all coming back now. Does Walking Coyote have a favorite girl? Probably he sticks around Strong Wind. They beat up on each other. It's really funny, but yeah, he sticks around Strong Wind a lot. Probably just because they might be sisters, or if they're not sisters, they've hung out since birth. But come here next July or August next year, they will all be his favorite. Morning from Ontario, cool. Glad to have you. Yes, you can mix range with woods bison. They are effectively the exact same animal, but the woods bison have adapted to the woods area, and the plains bison have adapted to the plains area. So just like a feral hog, if you were to take a hog and you were to release it into the wild, within a couple generations they will be a wild hog and they'll be hardly recognizable, but effectively it's the exact same animal. That's what's happened to woods bison. So you can breed them together and you get what's called hybrid vigor, and you'll get a larger animal, but sometimes they can be sterile for the first generation or so. Not always, but that's one of the issues you have. Some guys are doing that, getting real big animals out of it, but I don't really plan on doing it, at least at this point. I think there was a typo there, Robert. See if you can clarify that, maybe. Do they let me touch them more when I'm out amongst them? No, none of them have let me touch any of them yet. They probably will eventually, but I'm not too concerned to that. I don't want to get them too interested in me, honestly. You know, sometimes when you get a really big friendly animal, they can get dangerous. So everybody's got a different approach to it, but that's just kind of my take on it. I wouldn't mind if one or two of them ate out of my hand, but it's kind of fun. You're welcome for the info anytime. Robert, how's the other pasture coming? Or are you going to fence that in soon? Yes, I haven't started on it yet, but will probably be this summer. Life has been busy in a good way, so I've just got to find time to knock out some projects. How you doing, Pammy? From northern Idaho. Very cool. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Hopefully all you guys have a beautiful rest of your weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy your time off if you're off work, and if you're working, work hard. So we will see you next time. I appreciate everybody joining in, and hopefully I answered everybody's questions as best I could. So James, how large is the herd, or how large is the farm that will support a herd? It will probably support somewhere around 40 or 50 if I can figure out the intensive grazing. If I cannot, then probably only around 15. So you kind of see why it's very important to figure out the intensive grazing side of things. We have 60 acres here. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. We will see you next time.